Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Blake Damon here, and today we're going to do another Sims 4 speed build. Today we'll be building in Mount Komorebi, in that 20 by 15 lot that I've been building in for the last 3 speed builds. I don't know, I like this lot. This time around I'm making a micro home. I think the other 2 homes were small homes, but this one is only going to have 32 livable tiles. I first start off with the entrance, which in Japanese is called the genkan. The genkan is a very important part of Japanese home. It's where people remove their shoes. It's part of tradition that's lived on for quite some time. Even in modern homes, they still have this area just outside the front door where you remove your shoes. Next, I start doing the living room. I don't know if you'd call it a living room. It's kind of more a bedroom study area. There's no real lounge or anything in it. But when I play tested it, a lot of the people who came to visit, like the welcome wagon, they all sat on the bed and on the chair and on that stool. I don't know what it's called. I think it's a stool. It looks like a footrest, but it's not. People sit on it. Initially, I had used the windows that had the paper over the top that you couldn't see through, but then I decided that the view outside was actually quite nice. I really like this area. So I decided to change those windows into the same sort of ones, but with a glass, so you can see out of them. Next, I work on the kitchen and dining area. Now, it's not much of a dining area. It's literally just a counter with 2 stools, but you know, it's a place where the people can eat. So in a way, it is a dining area, I guess. For a while now, I've been meaning to use the shelves that I used there at the top of the kitchen. I haven't found a suitable place for them to be in, but I realized that the kitchen counters don't actually have matching cabinets, so I decided to just use shelving instead. This shelving. I actually enjoyed putting stuff on the shelf there, and also in the counter shelving. I really like that you can do that with these kitchen counters. It's actually really cool and adds, I guess, more depth to the item, as opposed to it just looking decorative. Next, I work on the outside. The outside was pretty easy to clad. I just used the same cladding as the cladding inside, so that took absolutely no thought at all. For the longest time, I've been trying to find a place to use the, I don't know what they're called, but those things where they hang out over the windows. And finally, I found a place. I really like those grills. I like the way they look. It makes things very authentic looking because you see them everywhere in Japan. Well, not everywhere. Mostly in the old houses. The stairs were a bit strange. I wanted the stairs to match the swatch that I used for the doors, windows, and the cladding. But the stairs don't match, even though according to the swatch, it's supposed to. So I just used a different swatch. I think a darker one. That way it doesn't look too weird. I really enjoyed populating the shelves. I think I like decorating. Now this build is called the Momiji Micro build. Now Momiji in Japanese is actually the maple tree. And if you notice my previous 2 builds, I named those builds according to the Japanese tree that's in the lot. I think the first one was a sakura, so I called that one the Sakura Shrine. After that I made the Matsujo, which is a pine castle. And now this one is the Momiji Micro Home, because we have the maple tree in the lot. If you can't go to Japan during sakura season, which is when the cherry blossoms are out, the next best thing is probably to go during autumn, which is when all the trees in the entire country change color. Blinding reds and yellows and oranges. When I was living in Japan, I lived in this place called Hikone, and my apartment window faced this mountain covered in trees. And when it turned autumn, the first sign of that was when one tree on the mountain had turned yellow. I thought it was a stain on my window, so I went up to the window glass to kind of like scratch off what I thought would be a stain, but it's not. It was actually a yellow tree. And as the season progressed, a lot of the trees turned yellow, then orange, then red, until suddenly I woke up one morning and it was wintertime and the mountain had turned white. We don't get those seasons here in Australia. We don't get none of that. I'm totally obsessed with shrines. I don't know why. I think all of my builds have shrines, don't they? Yeah, I think they do. Even though this lot already has a shrine just behind that maple tree, I insist on having all of my builds on this lot have a shrine. I don't know why. And now we're coming into some flybys. All in all, I really like the way this build turned out. It was a lot easier than I thought it would be to make it, because I was expecting it to be harder for some reason. I don't know why. Some micro homes are really difficult to furnish and decorate, but this one was actually pretty easy. I think it's because the pack is complete. It's got everything, so you don't really need to find things that would match because everything already matches. And there we have it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, don't forget to reward yourselves by giving this video a like and subscribing to this channel. If you'd like to download this build, you may do so. I'll leave a link for that in the description down below. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask. I'm always very willing to answer. And once again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you next time. Bye!